Good evening, my dear Dharma friends. So today is the third day of class for Noble Truth and Meditation. So today actually I emphasize more about the meditation. So before I start new class, I will shortly review about the Four Noble Truths. So generally, within our life, we have the positive minds, we say minds, and negative minds. Also, our daily basis, we have positive actions and negative actions. All the negative actions arise based on negative thoughts, negative motivation, negative emotions. Then final root is ignorance. All the positive actions arise based on positive thoughts, positive motivation. Finally, the wisdom. So the Four Noble Truths include into true cause and effect order. One in the samsaric side, one is the nirvana or liberation side. The noble truth of suffering is the result of ignorance, affect emotions, and karma. Karma makes sure you should not have a misunderstanding about karma. Karma has three types: physical karma, verbal karma, mental karma, the actions. The actions has three types. Within the three, the mental action is so fast, so quick to react. Then all the negative actions, all the defilements rooted by ignorance. The ignorant, the negative karmas, afflict emotions, defilements, we name the noble truth, origin of the noble truth. That means all sufferings arise based on the origin of sufferings. So when we do practice meditation, the first we must reflect, remember all types of sufferings. Within this lifetime, we have been experiencing of physical sufferings and mental sufferings. The most time we also, always within 24 hours, we always encounter experience of mental sufferings, emotional sufferings. So before you really do practice meditation, you must recall all types of suffering on this life, in the past life, in the future life. In order to remember the past life sufferings, in the future life sufferings, we must remember, also we must have a very strong conviction, very solid belief in next life and previous life. Of course, we everybody accept the present life. In order to believe in next life, so we must need the good knowledge about the 12 links, interdependence, how life is, passing away, how the next life arises. So this subject we will explain in the next classes. So this is big question, if there is a next life or not. So that's why many people, don't believe in next life. Also, many people believe in next life. Also, many people in between. Neither they say there's a next life, nor say there's a not next life. They are just in middle. As a Buddhist, if you don't really believe in next life, in the previous life, then there's no foundation, there's no basis to believe into karma. There's no basis to believe in triple gems. Then there's no belief into nirvana and liberation. So everybody try to realize next life. So in order to believe in next life, we must know how the mind is function our daily life. For example, yesterday and today is totally two different time. All the mind which is we have right now is we have because based on yesterday minds. All yesterday minds are cause to produce today minds. So today minds will produce tomorrow minds. Then finally we go all the way to until of the death. So after moment of the death, the moment of the death, we won't have. Most people don't have the five sensations. All five sensations totally dissolve into the sixth mind. Within the sixth mind, there's a gross, subtle, and very subtle mind. So finally, moment of the death, there will be only subtle mind. The subtle mind will bring all the karmas, all the karmic mental imprint to next life. The subtle mind is not separate than the you. You never be not separate than the subtle mind. But you are not subtle mind. The subtle mind is not you, but there's no two things separately exist moment of the death. This subtle mind will go to next life. So you need to must know certain knowledge about the mind, different levels of mind. Then when you really believe in the next life, then you remember you must realize in the previous life. Then you will believe in the cause of sufferings. So the cause of sufferings, which is ignorance, based on ignorance, then all the defiled minds arise. Based on all the defiled minds, then all the actions arise. In order to achieve the noble truth of the cessation, so we must practice the path, the noble path, which is lead to the cessation of origin of suffering, cessation of the truth of sufferings. So when we think about the cessation, when we think about the liberation, nirvana, the liberation, the nirvana is the mental state or mental quality. The mind fully contaminated, fully controlled by defilements, that we are in samsara. We haven't achieved liberation. When the mind fully, freed from all the defilements, ignorance, then we can call, we believe I achieve liberation. You are fully free. You fully liberate from the cause of suffering. That you are fully free from suffering. Then you achieve liberation. In order to liberate yourself, in order to liberate other sentient beings, then you must practice the path. So path is generally we can say, 3 different levels. One, there's a simple path. You can be free from the, the lower realms, which is you need to practice the 10 virtues. Always be ethical person, do good thing. Try to reduce the negative thoughts. Try to eliminate the negative karma. Then you will be free, short time, you will be free from the lower realms. That's why in Buddhist tradition, practicing the 10 virtues is very important. The second path is much higher than the path which is free from the lower realms. Then we call, the path to lead the liberation, only liberation, not Buddhahood. Is include practice of renunciation, practice of emptiness, practice of mindfulness. That means 3 mental training, 3 mind trainings. In order to generate renunciation, again you must know the law of cause of suffering and the cause of suffering and the result of the ignorance. Then you able to generate renunciations. In order to generate wisdom, you are very much depend on, very much depending on logics and reasoning. All logic, reasoning you can use to realize the reality, the truth, which is emptiness. Then, in order to further generate, the renunciation and the wisdom, then the number 1, so important to be, good person, maintain your commitments, your vows. Then third, you need to practice the meditative concentration. That means mainly 3, mind trainings. So this is the second part of the practice of the path. The last one, practice of Bodhisattva path. The practice of Bodhisattva path, we can divide into 2 practices. Practice of Sutra Mahayana practice, Vajra Mahayana practice. That's why we have Sutra Vajrayana and Sutrayana. Sutra Mahayana, Vajra Mahayana. So, in generally, people usually say within the Mahayana there's 2 types. So you should not say within the Buddha teaching there's 2 practices, Mahayana practices, Sutrayan practice. Within the Mahayana there's a Sutra Mahayana and Vajra Mahayana. So this is the third level of the path, which is lead to cessation of suffering and the truth of suffering. Within the 4 Noble Truths, there's again gross, subtle, and very subtle. For example, the truth of suffering, we have 3 levels, right? Pervasive suffering, suffering of changing, then suffering of suffering. The pervasive suffering, the physical body has a three levels. Which someone is very very gross, which is we have this body. Second, when you reach to the last state of the death, or another, like we believe in the formless being. That time, when you reach to the last moment of the death, that time, when we look at the person, look like the person is, still there, yes, still there, but that moment, the person is totally disconnected with the gross body. If you cut the hands and legs, the person cannot feel anything. That time, we will be very much depend on the, subtle body. This because subtle. Gross right now, subtle we have when we reach to the final state of the death. Then there's a more subtle body. The more subtle body is always arise within us, but we cannot realize, we cannot recognize. We can realize, we can recognize, we can use it when you are able to practice the Vajrayana path. That's why within the Mahayana, first you must practice Sudra Mahayana. Second, you must practice the Vajra Mahayana, the Four Noble Truths. So all practices very much depend on practice of meditative concentration, has a two, karma burden and special insight. Look at most Buddhist people, include many monks and nuns. They have been practiced Dharma for whole life, many years, many months, but we cannot have any progress because we don't do the meditation. But we have been trying to do meditation, but we always follow, always practice the wrong kind of meditation. We follow, the wrong information about meditation. So that's why, today we emphasize more about the meditations. The meditation, generally you can divide into two. One is single-pointed meditation. Second is within the single-pointed meditation, there's another types of meditation is because special insight. That means you fully focus, not analyze. Second one, you fully focus as well as you do the analysis. This is special insight. So that's why I think last time we talk about the meditation state. So today we'll talk more about the meditation state. So as a revision, so everybody, most people don't have the books, but you just listen and you keep a note as much as you can. So before we do meditation, we must know what does mean meditation. What does meditation? If you don't know, the entity, the nature of meditation, then you don't know you are doing the right meditation or you are doing the wrong meditation. So that's number one, what meditation, what meditative civilization is. Then number two, when you recognize, the meaning of meditation, then how to begin, how to start. So before you go somewhere, you must know where are you going. You must get the right information about the place. Second, how you should go. Second, how to begin the cultivation of meditative stabilization. Then, second, first you know what does meditation exactly. Second, you know how to begin, how to cultivate, the cultivation of meditative stabilization. Third, you must know how many types of, the division of meditative stabilization. If you don't know the division, then you don't know what meditation you should do when. This third, you must know the division of meditative stabilization. Number 4, then how to practice. First, you must recognize, you must understand, the meaning of meditative stabilization. Second, you must know how to start, how to begin the cultivation. Third, division. Fourth, how to practice. That's why in the last Tuesday, so we study about the nature of meditative civilization. Meditative civilization is a virtues. Virtues. One-pointed state of mind that stay fixed on its object of meditation without distraction to other things. Right? Meditative civilization is a virtues. That means the meditation, the nature is virtues. It is not non-virtue, it's just virtues. It's not simply, concentration. It must be nature is virtues. Then they fully focus, one-pointed state of mind, pointed where, the mind must stay fixed on its object of meditation without distraction to other. That means, for example, when you meditate on impermanence, first you try to understand what does mean impermanence. Let's say 2 types of impermanence, gross and subtle. Everybody can see, we realize, or we already know, we realized the gross level of impermanence. Everything is changing, we can see through our eyes. But the subtle impermanence, we cannot see through our eyes. It's very much depend on sixth mind. It is very much depend on study. For example, we have 1 year, right? The 1 year depend on 12 months. 12 months depend on 1 month. Without 1 month, there's 12 months. 1 month. 1 month has let's say 30 days. 30 days is combination of 30 individual days. That means let's say 1 day. 1 day has 24 hours. 24 hours has 1 hour. 1 hour has how many minutes? 60 minutes. 60 minutes has how many seconds? 1 minute has 60 minutes. Then 1 minute. 1 minute has 60 seconds. 1 second has how many milliseconds? And look at this. When we say the year is collection of the 12 months. This means finally when you study the time, movement, time, then you can see everything is moving very subtle level. For example, you can see the bullet is coming from other side to here. It takes 1 minute, but within 1 minute there are so many series. Finally you understand, yes, this is impermanence. Then your mind fully focus on the subtle impermanence without distraction on other things. Meditation, right? You fully focus the chosen object. This is the definition of meditative civilization. most important virtues. When you fully focus on, like cup, pen, tree, flower, it can be fully concentration. But I said we cannot say it is meditation because it is not the virtuous state. Then how to begin, right? For example, before you start to do something, right? Before you cook the pancake, you must know I want to eat because you must know, the goodness of the pancake that you're happy to cook, you're happy to make, right? Same thing before you do meditation, you must know what will be the benefit of meditation. That means how to begin the cultivation of meditative civilization, thinking over the benefit of cultivating meditative civilization and faults of the not cultivating. So you must know the benefit of meditation. You must know the faults not doing meditation. There are, so that now you have to go the division of the meditation. If you subdivide meditation according to nature, there's two kinds, mundans and supermundans. Mundans and supermundans. So even though you have the right meditation only reduce the negative thoughts, reduce attachment, anger, ignore, reduce, not able to eliminate, that we call the mundans. Why? Even though when you reduce, you will be very happy in this lifetime. You don't have a lot of destruction. You don't have a lot of anger, hatred, ignorance, depression. You have a happy life. It doesn't mean you will have a happy life in next life. Mundans. Second is supermundans, beyond the mundans. Even though you have the right meditation, not only meditate for reducing the negative thoughts, you are doing meditation mainly, uproot of the samsara, uproot of the attachment, ignorance. Then your meditation can be, the supermundans meditation, because the result is big different, right? If you divide based on nature, there's a two. That means most people, do meditation mainly reduce, mainly minimize. That's why many people very happy to do the breathing meditation. Right? When you fully focus on your breathing in and out for 10 seconds, your mind is very quiet. There's no any chance to arise anger, attachment, hatred, ignorance, because your mind is fully focused on your breathing. But it cannot reduce, so you cannot uproot the ignorance. It cannot uproot the attachment, desire. Okay, so whenever you do meditation, you do for two reasons. One, reduce. Second, mainly do for uproot. Eliminate the root of suffering. Mundans and supermundans. If you subdivide it according to function, there are three types. You can divide based on nature. That means two, mundans and supermundan. If you subdivide it according to function, there are three types. Meditative stabilization that stabilize the body and mind in bliss within the person life. Only this lifetime. Okay, this means meditative civilization that stabilize the body and mind in bliss within the person life. Meditative civilization that achieve the goal. This is one thing. This means function. So if you do, sudden meditation, it have a function. It have a potential. It have a function to have a stabilized body, and the mind in bliss. So that's why, in order to have a healthy body, you do meditation. In order to have a mental happiness, mind in bliss, you must do meditation. What's the relation between meditation and healthy body, stable body? Look at, when you get angry, you just touch your heart. When you get angry, touch your heart. Heart is bumping too fast. That's why many people has the store, right? Store. The people are not always happy, anger. Doesn't matter the person, the people eating how much healthy food. The people looks very weak. Not really, freshness is not there. This means, all the negative thoughts harm your body. If you do meditation, it reduces all the negative thoughts. It reduces that you have a healthy body. Again, you can see many people are physically very healthy, very fit, very has a fitness body. Mentally, lot of distraction, right? You can see many people. Within you can feel yourself. Physically, I am very healthy, but mentally, I am very weak. I am sick. I have a sickness of attachment, sickness of anger, ignorance, headache, depression, anxiety. All of this, the mental disease. This mental disease reduce using the right meditation. Right? That means one, and the function can be function in order to have a healthy body, in order to have a mind in bliss. We should not say just mind in happy, mind in bliss. For example, how you can have a mind in bliss. For example, you are in overseas. Suddenly you lost your passport, your money. How do you feel? You feel very upset, agitation. You feel the agitation, anxiety, right? Then suddenly somebody says, "Oh, your passport and money is here." How do you feel? So relief, right? So this means, the mental mind in bliss, one function. The second function, the meditative civilization that achieve the good qualities. This means good qualities. Simply, when we are in school, that time some of you very focused on your study. The people who fully focus on their study, the person have a more knowledge, more experience, more education. All is happen because the person is fully focused. That means all the good qualities which is we have very much depend on mindfulness. The people who have a lot of bad qualities, we are not talking about the physically bad quality, the mental bad quality. It's also because the person don't have the mindfulness. Some people lost things very often. Yesterday you lost your pocket. Day before you lost your card because you are not mindful person. That means all the mental bad qualities we have because we don't do the mindfulness. We don't have a mindfulness. That means all good qualities arise based on meditation. This is the second function. The third one, not just have a healthy physical body, money in bliss, not only have a good qualities. It totally uproot the root to the the cause of suffering. Also is bring great compassion, bodhicitta, Buddhahood, liberation. All of them also function based on function of meditation. So there's you can divide into based on nature, based on function. Then the first meditation, body and mind. This is a division. How to practice? How to practice? Now you know the nature of meditation. You know how to start. You know the division, subdivision. Now how to practice? So most of you attend Lamrim class. Most of you follow the Mahayana practices. Then whenever you practice the mindfulness, you association, in association with the 6 supremacies and 6 perfections. So this is how to practice. Now we just, jump into book number 2 in order to study more in detail about the, karma binding. So meditation, the meditative mind we can divide into 2. One is karma binding. Second is special insight. So here this has a 3 section. How to train in meditative serenity. That means same meaning, karma binding. How to train. That means you think how I can train my mind in meditative, serenity. How? Number 2, how to train in insight, special insight. Then how to unite them. Number 1, you must train yourself, you must train your mind in meditative serenity. Try to learn how you can fully focus on the chosen object without distraction on other things. That means first you have to learn how to fully look at one object. Second, not only just fully look at, you fully look at as well as learn how to analyze. Then I give you example, has a big knife. The knife must have the heaviness and the sharpness. The heaviness is look like fully focused. The sharpness is look like not only fully focused as well as analyze. So in order to cut, big tree, you need a big like weapon. No weapon. Tool, right? Axe. Let's say use the axe. If axe is very sharpness is there, not heavy. Can you cut the tree easily? Cannot. Yes, the axe is very heavy, but no sharpness. You cannot cut the tree. It takes long time. So the axe must have a heaviness and sharpness. When you try to eliminate the ignorance, attachment, desire, everything, you must have a fully concentration as well as you must learn how to analyze. Then you're able to cut the root of the suffering. That means how to unite. Which meditative serenity and inside. How to unite? Right? First, you learn how to focus. Second, you must learn how to analyze. How to analyze. Third, you learn how to focus as well as how to analyze. Then, how to train in meditative serenity. It has three parts. Relying on the preconditions of meditative serenity. You must rely on precondition. Then, how to cultivate serenity on that basis. So first, you know all the condition. Second, you must know how to cultivate serenity on the basis on all the condition. Third, the measure of successful cultivation of serenity. The measure mean actually how you can say you fully got 100 mark. How we can say that person cannot get 100 mark, only 90. We must know the distinction. Yes, that means the third one, how measure of successful cultivation of serenity. Right? That means number one, rely on the precondition of the meditative serenity. Number two, how to cultivate serenity on the basis. Third, the measure of successful cultivation serenity. That's why there are so many people have a misunderstanding about how to how successfully cultivate the serenity. That means if you able to fully focus without any distraction, fully focus on one object for 2 hours, 3 hours, 10 hours, it doesn't mean you fully successfully achieve the meditative serenity. You fully focus as well as the freshness. For example, somebody asks you to go to airport to meet someone. Then you don't know anything about the person who is coming. Then somebody gave you a picture. You look picture, then you must get the image of the person in your mind. Then you just waiting. Then when the person come, you fully focus. If your mind is not really enough strong, you cannot recognize the person. You can see the person is like what you call blurry, but you cannot see clearly. That means fully focus as well as see very clearly. If you have this that kind of focused mind, fully focused and fully aware for 3 hours, continuously 3 hours, then we can say you success, you fully success the cultivation of serenity. How many hours? 3 hours. With the fully focus, within fully aware. Awareness must be there, focus must be there. Then condition we already learn, right? So on the progression, lovely condition, dwelling under the preparation areas, there should have 5 attributes. So what kind of condition we must need? That means yogi should rely on the precondition for serenity which make possible to achieve the serenity quickly and comfortably. There are 6. Number 1, dealing in a appropriate area. That means when you do meditation, you must need the appropriate, means the right place. At the beginning, if you try to meditate on, like meditation, you cannot. You cannot. First, you try to start your meditation in your home. Just, close your door. Try to have a, very quiet place. And, that area where you do meditation, it has 5 attributes. So you're talking about, the long-term meditation. For example, 1 month meditation, maybe 10 days meditation. That means, the area the place where you're going to do meditation, it must have 5 attributes. Easy to, easy access, so that very easy. You must have a very easy access to get food and clothing. That means you need food and clothes. Number A. Number B, being a good place to live, where there are no wild beasts and such as that means the place is very quiet, no any distraction. If there's a lot of insect, mosquito, they buzz you. That means the place must be good place, mean no any other distraction. Number C, being on a good piece of ground in that does not breed sickness. Yes, the place is very quiet, not any other kind of harmful insect, animals. If the place is very dark, very wet, then also you get sickness. Then D, offering good companionship. That means you must, if you have a friend with you doing meditation, the person must be good person. For example, you want to do meditation, he or she want to sleep, right? You must have a right person with you if you do meditation with someone. Then E, being well suited, that means there are not many people about in this day. That means, so make sure the place where you do meditation, make sure there are not many people. So this is the place. Then number 1, right? Number 1 has 5 attitudes. The number 2, having little desire. That means when you do meditation, generally if you do like a long-term meditation, of course you need to reduce all the desire. Even though if you do like 1 hour meditation, you try to reduce all the desire which is you want to do. You must stop all the desire for 1 hour. You just have a desire only doing meditation. Having little desire, being content. That means you want to do meditation for 1 hour. When you feel thirsty, be patient, be content. And completely giving up many activities. Number 4. Number 5, pure ethical discipline. Number 5, completely getting rid of thoughts of desire. Right? Number 1 is the right place, has 5 attitudes. Number 2, having little desire. Number 3, being content. Number 4, completely giving up many activities. Number 5, pure ethical discipline. That means when you do meditation, physically you have to be very relaxed. Mentally, you should not have a lot of bad thoughts. That means pure ethical discipline. Discipline can be physical discipline, mental discipline. We must have both. Then number 6, completely getting rid of thoughts of desire. For example, when you do meditation, suddenly you have a desire to make send text to your friends, a desire. Then suddenly you have a desire to do something. Lot of desire in your mind, then you cannot do meditation. So those are the conditions. Now, how to cultivate serenity on that basis? Right? So you know all the condition. Now how we should cultivate the serenity. It has 2 parts: preparation and actual practice. Preparation and actual practice. So preparation we already explained, right? The place, contentment, less desire, all of them. Now actual practice has 2 parts. Now look at, you got the right place, all the conditions there. Now, how we should do? It has two parts. Number one, meditative posture. Number two, meditative process itself. Right? So that's why when you do meditation, the posture is so important. That's why the founder of Kagyupa, Lama Marpa, he was born in Tibet. He was a Tibetan master. He came to India, went to India, I think 25 times to receive all the instruction, all the teaching. Then he said, even though rest of the practitioner cannot compare my meditation posture. He said, they cannot compare, even all the practitioners, they cannot compare my meditation posture. So when you do meditation, if you don't have a physical problem, you sit, on the cushion. The cushion, in front part is a bit low, the behind part is a bit high. If you put bit high, that means your spine, right? Go very straight, abreast. The posture has a 8. You already study, right? Cross your legs. If you cannot cross, must relax your legs. Number 2, your eyes should be neither wide open nor too far closed. This is very important. If you eyes should be neither wide open. If you open too much, there's a dangers to have a distraction. If you too close, there's a danger. There's a chance to arise dullness. For example, when you close your eyes, you feel you have a better mindfulness. No, because you fully shut up your 5 sensation. You feel you have a good meditation, but no. That's why you should not open too much. You should not fully close. Suddenly open, able to see things around you. Able to see your navel, right? Navel, able to see. Should not too much open, should not too close. Number 2. Number 3, sit with your awareness direct inward, keeping your body straight without leaning too far back or being bent too far forward. That means, you just sit with your awareness direct inward. Bend, do not much to lie like this. Keep very straight without leaning too far back or being bent too far forward. Number 3, fully straight. Number 4, keep your shoulder straight. Should not put like this meditation. Okay, very straight. They say your shoulder open like a eagle wing. You can say when eagle open wing is become very straight, right? Because last Tuesday I check everybody. Somebody sit like this. If you have a habit that you cannot change, how to have straight your body. Number 5, do not rest or lower your head, nor turn into one side. And again, head should not pull up or down like left side or right side. You just keep your head straight. Number 6, sit your teeth and lip in the usual. Your teeth and lip keep as usual, their usual, naturally position. You should not really open, close. Just keep normally. Normally, your your lip and your teeth and lip. Teeth and lip. It's a lips, huh? Yeah, teeth and lips. Then number 7, draw your tongue up close to your upper teeth. This tongue, if you do longer meditation, must touch in the upper tongue. If you do short 5-6 minutes, you don't need. Because if your tongue touch into upper teeth, when you do longer meditation, you won't have a feel of thirsty. You won't have a feel of hotness. That's why in the ancient time, when the practitioner feels so hot, because there's no air condition, no fan, right? That's why they just like this. You just try, put your tongue, fold in, try. How do you feel? The air is become cold, right? Maybe the air is cold. Yes, when you go in the hot weather, you just fold your tongue. They keep, cooling. That's important. Sit your teeth and lip. Yeah. Number 7, how to keep, your tongue. Number 8, your inhalation and exhalation should not be noisy force. Even let it follow effortlessly. Okay? When you do meditation, you should not make a noisy, like this, and should not force. You breathe naturally, effortlessly. So these are the condition or the posture condition. Okay, next, very important. If you have a book, page number 33, the Lamrim, the third volumes. Very important. Number 1, how to develop flawless concentration. No mistake in concentration. Flawless, right? The sound is perfect? Flawless. That's why many people, within the Buddhists or non-Buddhists, they have been doing, they develop the full concentration. Flawless concentration. Number 1, how to develop flawless concentration. Number 2, the stages in which the mental state are thereby develop. The stages in which the mental state are thereby develop. Now, within the number 1, there's a 3 section. What to do prior to focusing the attention on the object of meditation, right? What to do before, to focusing the attention on an object of meditation, prior to focusing the attention on the object of meditation. Number 2, what to do while focusing on an object of meditation. Number 3, what to do after you focus on an object of meditation, right? Number 1, what to do prior to focusing the attention on the object. Number 2, what to do while focusing on an object. Number 3, what to do after you focus on the object of meditation. Number 1, so what to do, prior to focusing on the object. If you cannot stop, very important, if you cannot stop the laziness, right? Laziness of being disinclined to cultivation, concentration, and of the enjoying things that are not conducive to it, right? So that's why, number 1, we cannot have a progress. Somebody has a progress in practice, but not good progress, because we are very lazy. We have a lot of laziness. So number 1, you must stop the laziness of being disinclined to cultivation, concentration, and also enjoying the things that are not conducive. So that means you should not be lazy. You must be very focused, and you should not be enjoy the thing which is not cause for the meditation. For example, you want to meditate on emptiness in order to reduce attachment. That means you fully focus on emptiness without laziness. right? Very, active, physically active, mentally active. Physically, you have a good, physical posture. Mentally, you always active, no lazy. Then, at the same time, your mind is very active, continuously active, but not active on emptiness, impermanence. Your mind is active on other things. We should not have this kind of mental active. So even if you do, attend it once, even though you don't have a laziness, you fully focus. But if you are enjoying the things that are not conducive, that means you cannot achieve the concentration for a long time. You have a short time. Now here's the order. Therefore, it is most crucial to stop laziness in the beginning. Okay, should not be lazy. Very active. It is so crucial to stop laziness at the beginning. When you attain plancy in which your mind and body are fully of diligence and bliss, if you stop laziness, then you are able to practice, meditation. When you are able to do meditation, you have a plancy. You attain plancy. Plan, P-L-I-A-N-C-Y, plancy. Plancy, right? Plancy. Plancy, what does it mean? Kind of, joyness of your body, sense of joy, joyness of your body, joyness of your mind. Fully, happy state of body, happy state of mind. So, fully delighted and bliss, you will stop laziness, as you will be able to cultivate virtues all day and night without awareness. If you are able to generate, the meditation, then the virtues cultivate for 24 hours. Even though you don't know, you are cultivating, you cultivate virtues, but naturally you always cultivate virtuous action, because there's no any negative action. All negative action totally, reduce, totally blocked by the meditation, the mental, which is, the meditation state. That's why you have always positive action. To develop this plancy, you must be able to have continuous enthusiasm for the concentration that cause plancy. When you do meditation, finally you have, the plancy in body and mind. In order to have this, you must have, have enthusiasm for concentration. Right? That means, first if I do this meditation, I can have a, very bliss in my body, bliss in my mind. In order to have this, you must have a strong, continuous enthusiasm for the concentration that cause plancy. To develop enthusiasm, you need a continuous, intense, very strong, intense yearning, that is the intent on concentration. Right? Now you can see, in order to have the good meditation, you must know through meditation, I can have a, bliss in my body, bliss in my mind. In order to have this, you must have a continuous enthusiasm for meditation. In order to have a strong, intense enthusiasm, you must have intense yearning, that is the intent of concentration. Cause for this yearning, there's an order. First, you must reduce laziness. Laziness can be reduced when you can see the result of meditation, which is plan C. In order to you can, when you see, when you're able to see, yes, through meditation I can achieve, then you must have a strong enthusiasm. In order to have enthusiasm, what you need? You need a strong, intense yearning. That is the intent on concentration. This is the, how you must have before you do a concentration, before you meditate on the object. So how you can have bliss in body and mind through meditation? I will very shortly explain. So there's the 9 steps. When you reach the final step number 9, you have a very strong, strong awareness of the object, as well as you able to focus for 3 hours. Due to that reason, suddenly you have a very bliss in your mind, very strong bliss in your mind. Due to the mental blissness, then second you have the physical blissness, physical happiness. How? We have 5 sensations, right? What are the 5 sensations? We have 5 organs: eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body. The eye sensation only exists within the eyes organ. Air also, air organs. Tongue also, So the eyes sensation remind of the center of the eyes ball. When you see your eyes, you can see in the center there's a black dot. Within there's sensation. The nose, when you put something just here, if the air no go in, you cannot feel the smell. When the smell go little bit in around here, then you can feel the good smell or bad smell. The sensation stop here, middle of the nose. The tongue, the sensation of the tongue is just remind edge of the tongue. In the middle, no. If you put just sweet sugar, sugar on the middle of the tongue, no melt, you cannot feel the sweetness. If you touch the sweetness of the top of the tongue, suddenly you can feel it. The sensation remain around the edge of the tongue. The most important, the physical sensation. The physical sensation pervasive, all parts of body. All parts of body. There's no any parts of body which is not, there's no sensation. When you get, kind of sudden disease, then sensation. Otherwise, yes. That's why when we have a very strong grace, bliss in your sixth mind, due to this power, you can feel whole your body has a great bliss. That's why you have a physically blissness, mental blissness. So this is the result of just concentration, meditation, not spiritual insight. In order to achieve this, then you need enthusiasm, as well as you need a lot of intensive effort. Right? This is what you should do before you do meditation. Now, most important, I want to start is a new since today here. See. Page number 34. What to do while focusing on an object of meditation. So, Yes, you have the object to meditate. You fully aware, the results of the meditation. Also, you know what you should do before you do meditation, before you begin meditation. Now, what to do while focusing on our object of meditation has two parts. Identifying the object of meditation upon which your attention is sit. Right? That means you must identify the object of meditation upon which your attention is sit. Right? That means you must identify, you must choose the object of meditation, which is your mind, attention, your attention, your attention is sit. Right? So, for example, before we start our class, everybody chose your seat. Now you are just sit on the question. That means first you chose your object, which is your mind fully set there. Number two, how to focus your mind on the object of meditation. How to focus? Yes, you know this is your object. For example, I say you focus on this. Now this is the object. Now how you focus? Related to the identify the object, very important, general presentation of the object of meditation. General presentation of object of meditation generally. What are the object of meditation generally? Second, identify the object of meditation on this context, special, karma body. Clear? General object of meditation, particular object of karma body. Clear? Clear? Not so clear?
Not clear, Vishana. Sorry, no understand.
Of course, no understand. Object, right? Object. Do you know subject, object? Eyes consciousness. Eyes is the subject. The books are object. Sound is object. Air consciousness is subject. Compassion is subject. All sentient beings are object of compassion. The sound is object of air consciousness. The form is object of eyes consciousness. Okay, so when you do meditation, so the meditation is the mental state, is a mind. So the mind have to fix on something, we call object, right? That means general object of meditation. Generally, there are so many, object of meditation. Generally, second, particularly, the object of karma body. A general presentation of object of meditation, identifying the object of meditation for this context related to this meditation. The general has three sections. The object of meditation themselves. How should meditate on which object? Synonymous of the object of meditation. Right? So, when we talk about general object, we need to know three things. Three things. Okay, here. Number one, the object of meditation themselves. Generally, the object of meditation themselves. Number two, how should meditate on which object? synonymous of the object of meditation. That's why many people ask, I want to do meditation, how I should do. I want to do meditation, what thing I must, which thing I must focus on. It's a very common question. The object of meditation themselves has a Buddha Shakyamuni explained 4 types of object of meditation. 4 types. Okay? Number 1, universal object of meditation. Universal object of meditation. Bit difficult to understand. You can see, the pervasive object of meditation is same name. Number 2, object of meditation for purifying your behavior. Right? Number 1, universal object of meditation. Number 2, object of meditation for purifying your behavior. That means in order to purifying your behavior, you need to choose certain object. Number 3, object of meditation for expertise. Right? Expertise means master. Expertise. Number 4, object of meditation for purifying afflictions. 4 object. Number 1, universal object of meditation. Number 2, object of meditation for purifying your behavior. Number 3, of meditation for expertise. Number 4, object of meditation for purifying afflictions. Clear? So, before you do meditation, you must know all the objects. Then you think, for example, when you feel hungry, what we need? Food. Thirsty, water. Feel tired, rest. Right? Same thing. So when you get angry, what object? When you get upset, what object? So that's why 4 object. Now within the universal object of meditation has a 4 parts. Clear? Number 1, a discursive image. B, non-discursive image. C, the limits of existence. D, achievement of your purpose. Difficult to understand, right? The meaning. Discursive image, non-discursive image, limits of existence, achievement of your purpose. Now you're talking about image, right? Image. That's why I said at the beginning. For example, I ask you to do meditation on, let's say, symbolically, flower, right? So how you can do meditation on flower? For example, first you look at the flower, the color, the shape, the pattern. You just fully look at open your eyes, look very carefully. Then you have a perfect image of the flower in your mind. Your mind is look like camera, right? When you focus your camera on, there's a flower. Same time there's a reflection of the flower in your camera, right? When you click, the image go in the memory card. In the past there's a what you call the film. Now just go in the memory card. For example, you just look at the object, flower, Buddha, whatever. Then you have the image of the flower. When you do meditation, you should not look like you are looking at the flower. You just hold the image in your mind. That means you are looking at the image of the flower in your mind. Same thing when you meditate on impermanence. So impermanence, you cannot see through your eyes. You have to realize through your sixth mind. Do you know the sixth mind? For example, attachment, anger, ignorance, compassion, kindness, tolerance, those are not included into five minds, included into number 6. For example, today, for example, somebody say, oh, I really like this cup. The sense of liking the cup is not ice, right? It's from sixth mind. Same cup you saw today, you say, oh, this cup is so nice, I like it. Tomorrow, oh, I don't like it. This concept, come based on the sixth mind, not based on the eyes consciousness. Sixth mind, right? That's why you just have an image of the things in your mind. When you meditate on impermanence, you do study, you do analytical meditation, analyze, finally you understand, yes, this is impermanence. That's why I told you, think about year. Year is basis on the 12 months. 12 months basis on the 1 month. Without 1 month, there's no 12 months. Without 12 months, there's no 1 year. 1 month depend on 30 days. 30 days depend on 1 day. 1 day, 24 hours. Just go all the way. Very subtle movement. Then you really feel, everything is moving, right? Moving. Where we are moving? We are moving towards death. All the house is moving towards, like a decline. No more exist. Those all phenomena you look around. But when you look at continuously person, you cannot see the person is changing. The person went to overseas, like Malaysia, came back after 2 years. Then you can see the person has changed. The face has changed. For example, I saw the throat singers 12 years ago in Chicago. When I saw it here, it looked like difficult to believe those are same people. When they saw me, of course, they cannot believe, same person. You can see the changes. But this is the gross, impermanent. The subtle one you must realize through your sixth mind, through study, through analytical meditation. Then it's an image. Discursive and non-discursive image. The limits of the existence. Achievement of your purpose. There's a universal object divided into 4 parts. The 2 types of image, discursive and non-discursive, are posit. It's a very Tibetan term translated into English. Posit means recognize. They say recognize. In terms of the observer. For example, when you do meditation, you are observer. You observe the object. You are looker. The simple English, you say you are looker. You are looker at the object. You are looker. You are, observer. Your mind is observer. Observe where? Observe the object. Observer. That means, posit in terms of the observer. The first is the object of insight. First one was, which one? Discursive image. Okay, discursive image is the object of special insight. Non-discursive image is the object of karma binding. Right? In Sanskrit, do you know the 2 terms? Vipassana and shamatha. Shamatha and vipassana. That means, non-discursive image is the object of vipassana. The discursive is the, shamatha. That means simply, you can just understand, let's say everybody meditate on flower. Just everybody imagine. Just look at the flower. You have an image of the flower in your mind. Right? Then you just fully focus the image of the flower. You should not do any analysis. This means, non-discursive. Discursive. That means you are not doing any analytic. You just fully observe the image of the flower in your mind. Second, I ask you fully, focus your mind on the image and do analyze. The image of the flower is impermanence. It is a cause and condition, right? That means first you fully focus. Second, what you do? You do analyze. You analyze the color, the shape, the cause and condition. Now, related to the, discursive, non-discursive, just everybody just, visualize, focus on your own body. Just look at your body, your hands, just look at your hands. Right, hands. Then you just fully focus the image of your hands in your mind. Right? Look like you are still looking the hands. It's a non-discursive. Discursive. Now just continuously focus the image of your hands. You just observe the skin. Tear the skin. What you can see the bones, the blood, all the nerves. Right? You analyze your hands with the focus as well as analyze. When you analyze, your mind is more going closer to the reality. Right? Reality. For example, as a human being, even though monks and nuns, I'm monk, sometimes when I see, like a beautiful like a woman, I can have attachment. Then I just fully focus the beautiful body, the lady, woman. Then fully focus, do analyze. All parts of body, just open one by one, one by one, one by one. Finally, you cannot see something you really attach. Finally, all body became particles. That means your mind is more going closer to the reality, impermanence, emptiness, right? That's why you have to do two things. For mindfulness and also analyze. Should not do any, if you don't not doing analyze, then we call non-discursive image. If you're doing analyze, we call discursive, image. The limits of existence. What does mean image of the existence? Kabimiba. Existence. So in Tibetan, so has a universal object or image, right? Next one, object of object of meditation, universal meditation, subject of meditation, limit of existence. Existence. Okay, existence phenomena. Object of knowledge. So it's a very basic, like a philosophy term. For example, this is existence phenomena because it exists, right? It exists. It's here. It exists. This is object of knowledge. Somebody knowledge, somebody aware. This means this is existent phenomena. This is object of awareness. This is object of attachment, right? That means existent phenomena. That means all the phenomena, permanent phenomena, impermanent phenomena, big, small, or all phenomena you can divide into certain categories. This means limit. We think, all phenomena, we cannot have a number of phenomena, right? Do we? We don't have number of phenomena. But all phenomena you can include into permanent or impermanent. There's no any third categories. There's no third phenomena which is not include, neither include permanent, nor include impermanent. There's no. There's a limit. Then achievement of your purpose. So this is depend on, the object, what purpose you are doing meditation. Then there's a certain object. So that means universal object has 4 parts. Number 2, object of meditation of purifying your behavior is a 5. It's a 5. Right? That now is very important. Object of meditation for purifying your behavior. What does mean? If the person is very angry person, what the person behavior look like? Look like very gentle, look very happy? No, the behavior is very, no calm. When they speak, very harsh. When they walk, I don't the angry person walk very slowly. Cannot. Very fast jumping. When they speak, very strongly. Use a lot of harsh with the behavior. That means, meditation on purifying the behavior of anger, attachment, ignorance. Purifying behavior has a 5 object. Why 5 object? Purifying behavior are object that purifying behavior in which attachment, attachment, hatred, delusion, pride, or discursiveness. Right? Look, that means we have a attachment. Then we have a hatred. Then we have a delusion. Delusion means ignorance. Then we have a pride. Then we have a discursiveness, right? Ignorance, attachment, hatred or anger. Then discursiveness, right? So there are 5 defilements. Due to 5 defilements, there are 5 behavior. The person who has a lot of attachment, how the person behave, how the person act, right? The person who has a strong pride, what the person behavior is look like. If the person have a lot of ignorance, what kind of behavior the person have? That means there are 5 behavior behaves because there are 5 afflictive emotion. That means now there's a 5 object of meditation. Number A, ugliness. Ugliness is the object of what? So when you have an attachment, you need to meditate on ugliness. Attachment versus at the ugliness. When you say ugly, I don't think you have an attachment. Then number 2, hatred. If you hate someone, you must meditate on love, compassion. When you have a delusion, ignorance, you must meditate on dependent arising. When you have a pride, very strong pride about your body, about your money, your wealth, your relatives, your name, you must meditate on differentiation of constituents, right? Constituent. CONSTITUENTS. Constituents. Clear? 5 behaviors. That's why Why we have a 5 behavior? We have a 5 defilements. How we can reduce attachment? Meditate on ugliness. How we can reduce hatred? Meditate on love and compassion. How we can reduce delusion or ignorance? Meditate on dependent arising. How we can reduce the pride? Meditate on differentiation of constituents. Then last one, discursiveness. When you have a lot of destructive mind, meditate on inhalation and exhalation, breathing meditation. Do the breathing. That's why look at. We cannot say this object is the best object of meditation, right? You must know which object. In order to do meditation, first you check what kind of behavior you have. Then you realize which kind of negative emotion is more stronger within your mind. Then you choose the object. Then you meditate on the chosen object with the focus, fully aware. Right? So, this is the object of meditation for purifying your behavior. So now, okay, I think we still go another little time. So look at, now A is what? Ugliness. Ugliness is the best antidote of the attachment. Also, please don't mix up attachment and desire. Okay? Attachment always be negative. It's negative mind. Desire can be positive. Negative can be neutral. If you have a strong, desire to achieve Buddhahood, it is desire but not attachment. Why not? One wish to achieve Buddhahood, that kind of desire is why not is attachment? Because it doesn't have the complete definition of attachment. In Buddhism, the people who study Buddhism is very fortunate because it's very clear. What does mean attachment? The definition. What does mean anger? Ignorance, permanent, all has a definition. So why not, desire attachment? Why not? That means the definition of attachment is the mind. Okay, we say the mind which is absorb or focus on beautiful object. That means it's talking about object of attachment. Focus on beautiful object arise so difficult to apart. Attachment absorb on what? Beautiful object. Clear? Attachment absorb. Look at the beautiful object. Not only, absorb beautiful object, so difficult to apart, separate. He's talking about, the function, talking about the nature. So difficult to apart. It has a function to produce suffering. The function is producing suffering. Act, absorb as a beautiful object. Nature is so difficult to apart. That's why some people has a, habit to drink alcohol. So difficult to apart that mind with the alcohol. Right? That's why desire not always attachment, not negative. It can be negative, can be positive, can be neutral. For example, you have a strong desire to do exercise. It's just neutral. You have a strong desire to eat, like food. It can be neutral. You have a strong desire to steal something, harming something, cheating something. Is desire is negative. You have a desire to helping other, doing good thing other, doing good thing yourself is a desire is positive. Attachment always negative. That's why ugliness consists of the 36 ugliness pertaining to the body. So in order to reduce attachment, you must focus on ugliness. Okay, the ugliness consists of 36 ugliness pertaining to the body. Most attachment, we have attachment our food, cloth, body, your own body, other body. When you have attachment on your body or other body, you need to know the body is consist of 35 types of ugliness. Then bone marrow, the blood, all the things. You must study the page number here. Page number ugliness.
36. 36.
Page number 36, but the sentence they mention body 61 such as head and body, hair and external, ugliness. That means think about the hair, think about the body, think about the thing. Then you can ugliness. That's 36 is a common number. Number B, love involve focus on the friends, enemies, persons, thoughts, whom you have natural feeling. When you have a hatred, that means you have a hatred thoughts, your friends, or hatred thoughts others, hatred thoughts yourself. Right? That means when you practice love, you must have an equal love towards everybody. Then it reduces hatred. Even though you fully love yourself, but you hate your friends, that means you cannot reduce the hatred. You fully love to use you and your friends, but you really hate your enemy. Right? That means still you have a hatred. Due to the hatred, you cannot have a calm mind. That's why hatred. The love is the best antidote of hatred. And also, I mentioned many times, we should not mix love and compassion, number one. We should not mix love and attachment. Or first, love and like. Right? We can say, I like, noodle, I like Marina Bay, I like gardens. But we should not say, I love in Buddhism. Then next one, dependent arising is very important. So, dependent arising, okay? Regarding the object of meditation on dependent arising, is a two parts, dependent, then arising, right? Dependent and arising. When you say is arising, that means is negate, right? Negate is like a, do you know the negate? Reject, negate, reject. The permanent notion of permanent. No. When you say ten jebe, yeah. When is yes. When you say dependent arising, when you say arising, you reject nihilation, non-existent. When you say dependent, you reject the permanent. Right? That means it dependent means nothing arises as a permanently. Nothing arises independently. It exists because it's arising. Right? That's why when you have a good understanding of dependent arising, then you're able to recognize ignorance is, mistaken mind. All there is in the past, present, and the future is dependent arising in which is effort and are mere phenomena, factor and physical. Yeah. So we can study more precisely that regarding the object of meditation on inhalation and exhalation, you focus on attention without distraction by containing and watching the breath move in and out. So if you have a lot of distraction, that's why beginning of your meditation, anytime, first you do the breathing meditation. You do have a calm mind. Right? Then you must count, without any distraction. Two together, inhales, exhales, 1, 2, 3, all the way you can count 21 times. Without, have a distraction. Also, you just fully fully focus your sixth mind, not eyes mind. You just fully focus your sixth mind going in and out, in and out, in and out. There's a two-way. One you can count 21 times. One you should not count. You just absorb your breathing. So related to the breathing meditation, there's a mini technique. So based on instruction from my master, I think when I read the other books, it's quite similar. So when you breathe in and out, first you cannot realize. Finally, you're going to realize, yes, it's breathing through nose. Go all the way, your heart is come out. Finally, you're going to realize the physical body, physical movement of the physical body. Right? It depends on the body. Then realize the physical body. Then when you get angry, through breathing meditation, you can feel it, the unpleasant sensation. When you have a compassion, tolerance, and then when you absorb your breathing, you have a pleasant feeling. So due to knowing the physical body, you're going to understand the truth of suffering. Due to knowing of the feeling, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, you're going to understand the cause of, the origin of suffering. How? When you have a pleasant feeling, you attach it, you hold it, you cling it, right? Attachment arising. When you have an unpleasant feeling, then slowly you have a hatred. For example, when you see, some, you consider your enemy. Your enemy, dress up beautifully, physically very nice, very beautiful. He or she wear beautiful clothes. But when you look at the person, how do you feel? You feel angry. Why you feel angry? First, you have unpleasant feeling. You don't want the unpleasant feeling. Then you have a hatred, right? So through sensation of the pleasant feeling, you're going to understand the attachment, unpleasant, angry, hatred. Finally, you're going to understand everything arises through ignorance. Then, again, when you continuously meditate on your breathing or your breath in and out, you're going to understand the mental activity. Then you're going to understand, they have a positive mind, negative mind. Then finally you're going to understand that the noble truth of the path. Then finally cessation. Okay, so we don't have a lot of times. Actually we're going to, is time over, right? Actually supposed to stop at 9 o'clock. It's past 9. Okay, so why not? We have 15 minutes. So, the people who need to leave, you can go. The person still you have a time. We do, short meditation. I just say something that you follow my instruction. Okay? First you must remember, the postures. It has 8 attributes. I'm now looking, I'll make sure everybody do the proper way. Okay, the posture you must know how to do. Okay, now you must try to realize the benefits of meditation. Number 1, you can have a healthy body, you have a bliss in your mind. Number 2, through your meditation you can achieve all the mental good qualities. Number 3, through meditation, you can uproot all the sufferings. You can achieve liberation, Buddhahood, or you can achieve short time for happy life. This is the kind of benefit. So now everybody meditate on your breathing 21 times. You just count. Okay, now just I assume everybody has a quite calm mind. Your mind become very calm. Next, everybody just visualize, one piece of lotus flower in your mind. And you should not do any analytic image. Just focus on the image of the lotus flower in your mind. Fully focused, should not do any analytic meditation. Now you start to analyze the lotus flower without moving the focus. Just fully focus the lotus flower. You just look at the color, the shape, the smell. Now you go more precisely in detail. Within the lotus flower, just focus on one pattern. within the one pattern has a billions of particles. Within the billions of particles, you focus on one particle. Within the one particle has a many subtle parts, smaller than the particles. You fully focus one of the subtlest atom. Now you cannot see the pattern, you cannot see the lotus flowers. Now you can see there's no really attachment towards the lotus flower. Now you change the object. Now you imagine you imagine the person you really don't like. Imagine the person in your mind. Generate sense of hate, anger. Now you try to find the person which you really hate, why you don't like. The action, the face, the words. Now you go more detailedly. Face is okay, right? The person you really don't like, the person's face is okay, he or she look nice. Then the person dress up beautifully. You don't have a hatred about the face. You don't have a hate clothes. Now, our action. Physical action, verbal action, mental action. Which is you really don't like? The physical action is okay. Now mainly the mental action or the verbal action. Finally, you're going to understand there are nothing the person's side which is you really able to, you really hate, you really don't like. So I think today we stop here. So the next time we go more precisely about the object and particular object. And also next time we study little bit about interdependence and differentiation of the constituent. And the 16 characteristics of Four Noble Truths. Okay, so you can go Google. If you have a book, you can read and try to find the 16 attributes or characteristics of Four Noble Truths. Each truth has a 4 characteristics. So next our class will be until 9, not 9:30.